first, very quickly, we do apologize for the last week's fiasco. But we should be better off this weekend. Hopefully that won't happen again. So we're gonna follow more or less the agenda from last time. So over to Maria for EPACT.
Yes, thank you. So everybody, I hope you got the email from Laura with 2 links for videos of training on how to create your EPAC account, because there's a lot of people with questions on that. If you didn't get it, please check your emails. If you have gotten it and haven't watched it, please do. Like the email says, due date is March 15. If you guys want to be registered on the Korean registration, we need this information for March 15th. However, you're able to modify your information on EPACT. It says so on the video. You can modify any time after you've submitted it. So even if you don't have one of the answers, write anything, submit it, and modify it later. That is fine. Quick updates for those who have missed the email. You no longer need to put the passport in because the travel team already has your passport. Doctor's letter is on standby for those who have already gotten your appointment. I still suggest you go and do it. It's always good to have a checkup. I have mine next week, and we will know more after this week because we're waiting on a few answers from Scouts Canada. But besides that, any other questions, again, please shoot them my way. I am very happy to answer any emails at any time. So I will not go with the full detail on how EPAC works because of the videos I've already made. What I wanted to talk about today, Dr. Doug and Dr. Heather, we have a list of medications that we're going to ask you to take a look. If you have medications, if you have prescribed medications, and it can be anything that you need a prescription for, we're going to send out a list. If your medication is on this list, you'll need to fill out a permission slip to go through customs in Korea with your medication. You can do this up to 10 days before the Jamboree, but I will absolutely request everyone to do it at least 30 days before the Jamboree. 30 days is when you should have your travel information. They ask for travel information, 2 forms to fill out, and a doctor's signature to enter the country with your prescribed medication. If you do not have this permit, it might be taken away from you. And we do not want anybody 12 days with no medication. They've been reassuring us that the entry border in Korea will be very understanding, that we come from a different country with different restrictions. So when they see the permit, they're going to let you in and they're not going to ask you many questions. If there's any problem at any time with your medication, they're also reassuring us that it'll be possible to either contact your doctor back in Canada or supply with an equivalent back in Korea. But still, you're allowed to bring 12 days worth of medication for ISC's 12 days. It's basically from entry date to departure date plus 5 days extra in case of any flight delay. So think about that. Whatever amount you're bringing, don't bring 3 months worth. They might not let you. They might take part out. So the entry date and 5 more days on the departure date. Again, if anybody has questions about that, yes, Marie-Claude.
Do you mind translating in French, please, for our French participants? Thank you.
Donc, les amis, du début, il y a une belle vidéo que j'ai faite en français aussi sur la plateforme EPACT, donc je ne parlerai pas de EPACT aujourd'hui. Allez voir la vidéo, s'il vous plaît, si vous avez des questions, ça me fera plaisir de répondre. Vous avez jusqu'au le 15 mars pour remplir ces informations. Sinon, on ne peut pas remplir votre inscription en Corée. Donc, s'il vous plaît, 15 mars. Après ça, vous pouvez modifier les informations. Vous avez toujours accès à votre dossier, même quand vous le soumettez. Vous pouvez le modifier après. Ce n'est plus nécessaire d'avoir la photo de passeport. À date, on attend encore des réponses pour la lettre du médecin. Donc, si vous avez déjà un rendez-vous, gardez-le. Mais on n'a pas encore de réponse si ça va être exigé obligatoire ou pas. Mais parce que j'ai fait des vidéos, je ne vais pas en parler plus en détail. Envoyez-moi les questions, ça va faire plaisir de répondre. Deuxième chose, les médicaments. N'importe qui a une prescription de médicaments, peu importe le médicament, on va envoyer une liste des médicaments qui ont besoin des permis pour rentrer en Corée du Sud. Vous allez regarder la liste. Vous allez remarquer si votre médicament est dans la liste ou pas. Et s'il se trouve dans la liste, il y a des formes à remplir. Il y a deux papiers à remplir, une signature de médecin et une copie d'informations de voyage. Parce que vous allez juste recevoir les informations de voyage 30 jours avant le départ. Je vous recommande de faire si vous avez envoyé les formes, vous les envoyez 30 jours avant le départ. Comme ça, s'il y a des problèmes, s'il y a des choses, on a encore du temps avant le départ. Minimum, c'est 10 jours parce que ça prend 10 jours ouvrables à recevoir le permis, mais faites-les pas 10 jours, s'il vous plaît. On veut tous partir ensemble et pas laisser quelqu'un à l'aéroport. Les médicaments, comme j'ai dit, ça va être dans la liste. Et vous avez le droit d'en avoir. C'est la durée du voyage plus 5 jours. Amenez pas 3 mois de médicaments. Ils ne vont pas vous laisser rentrer avec ou ils vont vous l'enlever. Donc, c'est le nombre de jours à partir de la date de rentrée jusqu'à la date de départ, plus 5 jours. Ils nous disent par contre que si jamais on perd un médicament ou il s'endommage, peu importe, il y aurait la possibilité de voir vers les médecins de Jamboree et contacter un médecin au Canada pour vous donner un remplacement ou un équivalent. Ça se peut que ce n'est pas exactement le même médicament, mais c'est un équivalent et ça va vous toffer les 10 jours, les 12 jours qu'on a besoin. Donc, pensez-y. Parlez-en à votre médecin aussi. C'est quoi les recommandations? C'est très important. S'il y a des questions, encore une fois, envoyez-les-moi par courriel. Ça me fait absolument plaisir de répondre à n'importe quoi. That's it. Voilà.
I think just in adding to what Maria is saying, it is very important that everybody have a look at this list. The medications that are used in Canada, many of them are dextromethorphan, for instance, which is in DM cough syrups. That is on the controlled list. Most sleeping medications, things that people would take to fall off to sleep at night, Zopiclone, lorazepam, etc., those are on the list. Most of the medications that people would be using for ADHD, i.e. the amphetamine groups, are on the list. It's a surprisingly long list, so if anybody is on any medication to help them sleep, for cough suppression, for anxiety, etc., it's probably on the list. Now, the original list is, you can't see it on there, but there's 419 items on that list. The original list comes in Korean with English subtitles. We have tried to make it a little easier by going through that list, but this ultimately is the list that the Koreans are going to use. We've made a summary of it just using the Anglophone terms, all generic. You'll be surprised at things that are on that list. Basically, I would say if you find that there's something on the alphabet list, then that means you need to do the things about getting this permit. If you don't find it on that list and you still think you might have something, then you must consult the original Korean list because that's what the Koreans are using. I apologize for the Francophone people. The Koreans, from what we can see, are dealing in either Korean or in English. So if there's a request, if you, let's say, you're on a medication for ADHD and you find it on the list, then you have to go to your doctor and get a support letter from your doctor. But unfortunately, if your doctor does it in French, then you'll have to get it translated and you'll have to verify that the translation into English or Korean is correct. So I would translate it into English. Another thing I will mention, absolutely no form of marijuana is allowed coming into Korea. It's not even on the list in terms of substances that you can sign for. So if you're on CBD oil or something of that nature for chronic back pain or whatever, you can't bring it in. And we don't know of any way that we can get around that. I saw somebody asking about ibuprofen. That is not on the list. But have a look at the list. And if you have any questions, we'll try to answer them from the Korean perspective. But it's a completely different approach going to this jamboree than any in the past. In the past, if you brought everything in your original containers and you had a doctor's script, they didn't question it. But for whatever reason, there's a much tighter potential restriction in Korea. So.
Donc, en français pour les amis, oui. C'est la liste de médicaments contient des médicaments que nous ici on utilise régulièrement over the counter, comme sans avoir besoin d'une prescription nécessairement aussi. Par exemple, il y a des sirops pour la toux qui contient ces médicaments. Donc, allez-y vraiment dans la liste. Si vous voyez pas le nom sur la liste, mais vous pensez que peut-être il pourrait en avoir, parlez-en avec votre médecin pour voir tous les ingrédients. Sur la liste, on retrouve des choses qui sont pour des somnifères qu'on utilise ici aussi, des médicaments pour l'anxiété. Donc, vraiment, même si c'est pas une grosse prescription, c'est des choses banales qu'on utilise ici fréquemment. Regardez la liste comme il faut. Pour le dire aussi, tout ce qui est cannabis, c'est non. Cannabis, le THC ou les CBD, c'est illégal là-bas. Vous allez vous faire enlever et sinon arrêter. Donc, s'il vous plaît, rien de ça. Si vous en prenez ici pour un médicament, parlez-en à votre médecin pour trouver une alternative pour le voyage. Vous n'avez pas le droit d'en amener. Yes, Marie-Claude.
Est-ce qu'on peut parler à notre pharmacien? Can we talk about all of this to our pharmacists? Do you think that they can do the job for us as well for translating, or qu'est-ce que t'en penses?
Yep.
Translating, they ask for a notarized copy in English. So if you make it originally in English, it'll be easier than have it in French and then translate it to English.
Yeah. Okay, merci.
Je connais pas toute la liste. Ventolin, Advair, inhalers for asthma. Did you see any of that on the list, Doug? I think asthma is fine.
I did not see anything of that nature. It's basically narcotics, amphetamines, and I apologize for the terms that you're going to find when you deal with the Korean hierarchy. Everything on that list to them is a narcotic. It's not a narcotic in Canada. If you take Ativan because you're anxious, or you take Zopiclone to sleep at night, those are on controlled substances list, but they're not narcotics. But everything that we found dealing with the South Koreans, they counted as a narcotic. One of the questions for those who do have to fill out the form, they ask you whether Canada has an export permit that you can get, which in considering the 419 items on the list, it's a silly notion. But anyway, Canada, from what we're aware, does not have an export permit. If you want to take your Zopiclone out of the country, Canada won't verify it. You have to fill out the forms for Korea.
Maria,
Donc, the forms, we're gonna send them out. It's a form that you fill out, and there's a guideline that explains what the papers that you have to fill out are and how to fill them out. You or the person who has the medication have to fill out, I think it's 2 forms, the travel form and the doctor's note, and you have to send that out to the email that is on the guidelines that you will receive. We cannot do this for you, and it's not an online form. It's really a PDF. You have to fill it out, sign it up, and send it to the email on the guideline. Donc, vous allez recevoir un courriel avec les formes, avec les papiers pour le permis, les guides de comment remplir et quels documents vous avez besoin, et vous envoyez le tout au courriel qui est dans les guides de comment faire. OK? Et vous devez le faire pour vous-même. Nous, on ne peut pas le faire pour vous. Ça doit être la personne avec la prescription ou les parents de la personne avec la prescription qui doit le faire. Et vous êtes en charge d'envoyer ces courriels et avoir le permis, imprimer le permis et l'amener avec vous. You have to bring that, print it out the permit when you get it and bring it with you. Okay? If you want to
Maria.
upload it to EPUB, that's fine.
Maria, I'd like to add one comment if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Important to note that the list is by generic drug name only.
Yes.
So methylphenidate will be listed as methylphenidate. You will not find Concerta or Ritalin on the list. Hydrocodone or hydromorphone will be listed as hydromorphone. You won't find Dilaudid on the list, for example. So important to make sure you either know the generic name of your prescribed controlled medication or that you have your pharmacist help you.
Yeah.
Donc, soyez, vous devez savoir que les noms génériques, vous n'allez pas les trouver sur la liste. C'est vraiment la composance du médicament qui est sur la liste. En français, je ne connais pas les noms que Heather vient de dire, mais
c'est pour le Ventolin, là. Exemple, le Ventolin, ceux qui prennent pour l'asthme qu'on a parlé tantôt, là,
oui, mais il y en avait un autre,
méthylphénidate.
Concerta, par exemple. Concerta n'est pas sur la liste.
Ritalin,
mais l'ingrédient actif dans Concerta est dans la liste. Donc, regardez les ingrédients actifs. Demandez à un pharmacien de vous montrer les ingrédients actifs parce que vous n'allez pas trouver le nom générique.
Et est-ce que c'est un formulaire par médicament ou c'est un formulaire pour tous nos médicaments?
Un formulaire pour tous les médicaments.
Parfait.
Dans le même formulaire, vous mettez la liste des médicaments que vous avez avec la dose, la raison, comment vous le prenez, combien vous en avez. So, the permit, it's 2 papers where you list every single medication that you have on your list that you have to use. You don't have to make one per medication. It's 1 paper for all your medications. Heather?
Yes.
Is
Your
it an
hand's up.
old hand?
Pardon me?
Your hand's still up?
It says my hand was lowered, so I'm assuming, okay,
All right.
never mind. I will lower it also.
Any other questions? D'autres questions?
One question, non-prescription medications, are any of those impacted by the list?
Yes.
Yeah, yes. Because of the active ingredients. So check all your active ingredients.
Yeah.
The one that stands out is dextromethorphan, which is the DM in any over-the-counter cough syrup that's got a DM in it. So Benylin DM, or for example, that's a controlled substance in Korea, apparently.
Thank you.
Donc, comme Heather vient de dire, même les sirops de toux. Il y a un composant actif dans le sirop pour la toux qui est considéré un médicament contrôlé en Corée. Donc, même ça, il faut passer par la liste.
If you have any,
I want to go back to a little question in ePact. I see a lot of people that have opened their invitation. Friendly reminder that you have to create the account on the same email you got the invitation from. Otherwise, it will not work. You can fill out an account information, but it'll never get linked to the Jamboree medical information. So please do it with the email you get the invitation to. Parents who are leaders, your kid might need to do their own account because it's linking your account for your medical information, but it's not making the link for the youth information. So they might have received it to their email. Make sure they create the account with you to their email. Donc, pour ceux qui n'ont pas encore fini leur formulaire ePact, je vois que vous avez ouvert les courriels. Donc, je vous rappelle qu'il faut créer le compte avec le courriel auquel vous avez eu l'invitation. Si vous utilisez un autre courriel, ça ne va pas créer les liens. Vous n'allez pas pouvoir remplir le formulaire. Il faut que ce soit le courriel auquel vous avez reçu le email. Et s'il y a des animateurs que leur enfant est aussi dans le voyage, votre enfant va avoir besoin de créer leur propre compte parce que votre courriel à vous, en tant qu'adulte, est déjà utilisé. Donc, vos enfants vont recevoir un courriel, vous créez le compte avec le courriel de votre enfant pour leur compte de leur enfant, de votre enfant, excusez. Merci. That's all in the medical end. Thank you.
Maria, je pense que tu as une question dans le
Oh,
chat.
dans le chat, yep.
Ouais.
Already have ePact accounts.
We had parents who already had ePact accounts because
If
of,
it's
for
the
example,
same,
Girl Guides.
if it's the same email, you might be able to accept the invitation with that email. The problem is if your account was created with a different email. If you want to use the same email that you already had for Girl Guides, please send it my way. I will do the modifications. And hopefully that works. But if your Girl Guide account with ePact, it's a different email than the one we're using to communicate, that's where it doesn't allow you to use your current account. I didn't receive the email.
I found the same thing. I have already gone through ePact because of a previous Jamboree, and I had to go in through the request from Scouts Canada. So I now have 2 accounts with ePact. Other comment I would make, when you go to fill out the import permits, they do ask you what airplane and what time and date you will be arriving. So Scouts Canada is going to try to get that information to people as soon as we can. In other words, you have to come with your permit and your medications in your hand baggage. Don't put your medications in your suitcase. Carry them with you.
And I know the travel information will come out about 30 days before. That's why we recommend you do it 30 days before.
Yeah.
Okay, so anybody who has actually not received the ePact email, please, I will type my email on the chat. Please send me an email that you use daily, that you actually use, and not a extra account that you have, and I'll be able to make the changes into ePact. Donc, pour ceux qui n'ont pas reçu aucune invitation ePact, aucune, je vais vous donner mon courriel. Envoyez-moi un courriel que vous utilisez à tous les jours. Je vais faire les changements ce soir. There's a raised hand. I don't know who that is. Go ahead, raised hand.
The unit leader for Unit 4. Are unit leaders going to get an email to say to poke some bears here to say, hey, look, participant that hasn't filled it out, make sure you get it in, or something like that? Because I'm aware that, hey, as much as we can poke them to come to these meetings, not all of them will be available. So we might have to put a personal touch there. Are we going to get an email to say who has and hasn't?
For EPAC, you mean?
Correct.
Because you are an admin on your own group, you can see who has finished their information. So when you log on to EPAC, you can see on the kids if they submitted their information. If their tag still says invited, it's because they just opened it but didn't create the account. Or if it says outstanding in orange, it's because they're filling out the information right now.
I cannot see anybody under my account yet.
Then
So,
I will check on that because other PULs confirmed that they had access to it.
okay. I will send you an
Which
email.
patrol you said you were at?
I'm Patrol 19. I'm Unit 4.
Patrol 19, Unit
I-
4.
We can
you a
take this
PUL?
offline. I can send you an email.
Yeah, please send me an email.
He is a patrol unit leader. Yes.
On Patrol 4.
No, Patrol 19.
No.
Oh,
We're
sorry.
Unit 4.
Unit
Patrol
4.
4.
Ah, that's my bad.
Patrol 4. Oh, sorry, Patrol. Adam, say it again.
Patrol 19, Unit 4.
Thank you.
Oh, Adam Crawford. It says
Uh,
you have been invited. You open the email, and you have to accept your invitation to being the admin of that group.
Oh, okay. I
Shoot
will
me an
search
email.
for
I'll
the
help you out.
invitation. Thank you.
You should know who your team leader is. You're in a patrol.
Well, hang on. Let me. If you're an IST, you have no team leader. If you're a youth, you should hopefully by now know who your patrol unit leader is.
Yes.
If not, send it to me, message me directly, please, or send me an email. Thank you.
Can ISTs get confirmation that EPAC information has been received? Yeah, because when you submit your medical information, you get a confirmation that you submitted it. You get an email saying you submitted everything. But please go see the email with the video on how to create the account because like I mentioned a few times, even if you create it with a different email, you're gonna be missing some steps. So watch the video, and if you still have questions, please email me. We'll figure out why things are not working.
Maria, if you may, maybe it's because it's an IST, so it doesn't have like the patrol unit leader or the unit leader to check it out. Maybe he just wanted to make sure that everything is okay on our side. I'm just saying, I
Yeah,
don't
but
know if that
even
was
if you're
the
an
case.
IST, when you submit your information, you get a confirmation email that you've submitted your information. That's what I mean. If you didn't get the email, message me. I can confirm.
This is a
There's a
meeting for
question.
everybody in the contingent. So
There's a
youth,
question for the
ISTs,
doctor's note.
oh, sorry.
There are still questions coming. So Maria, I missed the beginning of this meeting, but am I wondering if we need the doctor's note for EPAC?
Like I mentioned, it's still on hold. If you have your appointment set up, keep it. We're gonna have answers about the doctor's note this week, hopefully.
Thank you. Adam, do you have another question?
Nope,
Thank
that
you.
was
Thank
leftover,
you.
sorry.
Thank you. That's okay. Just wanted to be sure before we go to another subject. I guess everything's good.
So if we're all good on EPAC, then the next item on our agenda is already called and pre-camp.
Yay!
Incorrectly called travel on the first agenda.
Yes, I have. Well, I hope you'll find it's good news. We are starting the pre-camp room assignment. Yay! So everybody get into teams of 2 or 3. You have to decide who is going to sleep in the same room as you will, because yes, my dear, we are going to be sleeping in the university dormitories with real beds and air conditioning. Can you believe that? I can't. Oui, c'est ça. Alors, bienvenue tout le monde. C'est le temps de faire nos équipes pour le pré-camp. Nous allons dormir dans des dortoirs d'université sur des vrais lits avec de l'air climatisé. Donc, ça va être des groupes de 2 ou 3, tout dépendant le nombre de personnes que vous êtes dans les patrouilles. Of course, when I'm saying teams, I'm talking about people from the same patrol, of course, inside the same unit. We don't want people to mix it all up because we want patrol leaders to have a certain kind of control of that time we'll spend there. Yeah. So I don't know, George, when you're going to send the message. I know that David prepared a very nice message, both in French and English. I just wanted everybody to know that there's going to be a message that where you will be able to find Let me try and project my screen.
The email is going to go out tonight. I'm just going to wait until after the meeting in case there's anything else I have to add to it. But I did forget to send it out. I was asked to send it out last week and totally forgot.
No problem, because I'm presenting it today, so no problem. We still have time to do that. So PULs, I'm talking to you now, and I'm talking to the unit leaders as well as I'm talking to the youth. You have to make sure that this, do you see the form that I'm presenting? Can you see it?
We see
Because
it.
I don't.
Yes, Mary Claude,
Okay,
we can
thanks.
see the form.
Because I'm all alone here. I don't see anybody now because of it takes all my screen. So, all right. So this is going to be the email that PUL are going to receive for registering or making the pre-camp room assignment. So as you can see, the instructions are here, the first tab here, and you also have the instructions both in English and French. Thanks, David, for that. Donc, vous voyez dans le courriel que vous allez recevoir, il va y avoir un lien à cliquer dans une page Excel dans le OneDrive, ça va ouvrir et vous allez avoir accès là, aux instructions en français et en anglais. So if I take unit 1, for example, so you can see all the units are down here in the tabs. So if I click on unit 1, we have the name of the person in charge. Donc, quand on clique sur l'unité, on a le nom de la personne qui est en charge. Et on va vous demander soit de faire des équipes de 2 ou, dans le bleu ici, des équipes de 3. À ne pas oublier, parce qu'on sait qu'il y a des carers, donc des personnes qui accompagnent. So not to forget about the carers, the people who are following a few youth or there just to be close to them. If they need to be in the same rooms, it needs to be addressed in the comments section here. Donc, si le carer ou la personne qui s'occupe d'un jeune en particulier doit être proche, très important de l'ajouter dans un des groupes et de l'ajouter dans le commentaire. So, as you can see, patrol number 2, Annie, patrol number 3, François, patrol number 4, Lynn. So, you have to place your unit and patrol members with the ID number, probably the number that they gave you in when you registered. We would like to receive that by March 19. Donc, il faut que tout ça soit rempli pour le 19 mars. I know I'm going to end the presentation. Donc, il faut que ça soit rempli pour le 19 mars. I know that we're kind of rushing things, and well, with what happened last week, it didn't help. I'm sure you understand that. So this would be very important for us to be able to confirm everything to the pre-camp team in South Korea. So please, pretty please, make sure that this is all finished by March 19th. Donc, 19 mars, the deadline, la date butoir pour remettre vos équipes, s'il vous plaît. On le sait que c'est un peu rush avec tout ce qu'on vous demande. On est désolé. Mais en fait, on vient de recevoir également la note de la Corée du Sud, comme quoi qu'ils voulaient ça pour le 19. Of course, you can always send messages to the email if you have any problems, issues, you're not sure who, where, when to put them. Just make sure that you can send an email and it will be forwarded to David or myself. Donc, n'hésitez pas si vous avez des questions, des commentaires, des insultes ou des plaintes, de nous envoyer ça par courriel et on va se faire un plaisir de répondre. So, do I have questions? I have someone with a raised hand. I'm going to start with that person, but it's sad I cannot see the name. I don't know who raised.
Matthew Halupka, I think. You hover over the person's bubble, it'll pop up their name.
Ah, okay. Oh, the hand is gone. Is it just me or?
No,
I imagine that.
It was a Matthew Halupka, but maybe it's gone now.
Well, hi, Matthew. Maybe you just wanted to give me a high five. Any other questions? Do the scouts submit it or the leader? We just want it to be done. So it depends.
Go ahead.
What?
No, you finish because I have a question.
Okay. I mean, I don't know how you have been working when you're patrol. I don't know if there's a youth in charge of those things. I don't know if it's going to be done during a meeting, but of course, I would like it to be filled in and checked by the patrol unit leader, maybe doing it at the same time as the youth are going to decide and giving their names, just to make sure that everything is okay.
My suggestion, and this is just a suggestion, would be that you guys do it in your patrols and across your greater Jamboree units, just because you will be on doing the same stuff with your patrol. While I know you might have friends going who are in a different patrol, I would still strongly recommend that it be done by the patrol that you're going to the Jamboree with.
Okay, so basically you want the patrol unit leader to do it, to fill it in.
I want the patrols to work together to figure out how they want to do it, because this is a good test for how they're going to be sleeping together at the Jamboree anyways. So that would be the way I would do it. And it should be per patrol. Well, so I would do it per Jamboree unit because that's the way it's going to be done through tenting as well. It's across the Jamboree unit.
Yeah, thank you, George, for that. And also, please consider people's gender identity when making the groupings. And please group people with the same gender together. Would be really appreciated. And don't forget to include any comments you may have about this exercise. Donc, si vous êtes capable de placer les gens en identité de genre ensemble, ça serait très apprécié également. Ça éviterait beaucoup de questionnements et beaucoup de petits détails à régler. Puis n'hésitez pas à mettre des commentaires là, dans le petit carré. We don't know our unit leader. Well,
it was, I do. It was provided before, but it is Ian, and I can't pronounce your name, even though you pronounced it last time correctly. It's Ian. Can you pronounce your last name for us, Ian?
Yeah, I mean, but whoever's asking that, if they're in mine, they will know me if they're from my patrol, I guess.
They're in Philip's patrol. They're in patrol 17, so they are part of the four.
Yeah, Philip's got all that information.
Good, and all the information should be filled in by the patrol unit leader anyway. On the previous call, yep.
Sorry, I'm gonna jump in. This link will be sent out, or has been
Yes.
sent out because
Yes.
I
Nope. No,
will
I
be.
messed up and didn't send it out.
Got it. Thank you.
In
So that's
the email, you're going to see that there's a link. Something in blue will appear, and you just click on it, and that's the link of the document that I just presented to you. It's included in the email.
It will go out after this call. I'm just waiting to see if there's anything else I need to add into that email as well. So in case anything else comes up. The next question is really for me, I think, as opposed to you. It says on a previous call, it was mentioned that there's no longer doing USB battery charging system. Is that still the case? Maybe, I don't really know. Apparently, Mr. Franklin knows something because he was just in South Korea. You want to tell us, or are you going to keep it as a surprise?
Well, I could share a little bit from my fact-finding exposition of last week. I still feel a little bit jet lagged. They say it's a half day for every hour that you make a time change for. So strap your seatbelts on, folks. It's a wild ride getting home. Yes, I was able to see some photos. I didn't actually see the system that they're using, but at Subcamp, they have a USB battery charging system. You'll be able to drop off a dead cell and pick up a fully charged cell and go off gallivanting throughout your day, enjoying all of your activities. There is a limited number of them, though. I do not know how many they can charge in one shot. I'm not Subcamp. That would be our man Phil Chason, who I did travel with. He did finally make it there. If you ever were watching our exploits on Facebook and Instagram, he didn't fill out his KETA documentation correctly, and he didn't get to fly on the plane that he wanted to. So anyway, I'm not trying to scare anybody, but when it comes to filling out documentation, you want to do it correctly. But definitely there will be charging stations. They're recommending that those will be used by your patrol unit leaders and any youth patrol
With the
leaders.
IST stuff, we'll talk about that at the end of the call.
Yeah. More information will be coming, but there will be something available. I'll be quiet because I'll just keep talking.
So I don't know
Yeah,
if anybody else has questions for me about the pre-camp.
Oh,
I don't think. Good. So I think it was clear enough. So just make sure that if you cannot find the link, if the link doesn't open, just make sure that you send us an email so we can, look into that and make sure that everything works. Donc, n'oubliez pas que si vous avez des problèmes avec le lien, si vous n'êtes pas capable d'écrire les noms, envoyez-nous un petit courriel, puis ça va nous faire plaisir de regarder c'est quoi le problème. Hey, merci tout le monde. Thank you.
there'll be more talk about IST tents at the end of this thing. There is Wi-Fi on site. We just don't know what it's like yet. I believe. So is it possible to use Canadian or US money directly? Probably not Canadian, possibly American, but I don't really know. I think we're suggesting. Oh, Susie's already answered.
Yeah, it's being worked out right now as to what the currency at camp will be. That will be known in the next month as well.
Perfect. It seems like there is a lot of important forms and submissions prior to flights going out. Is there a travel checklist so that we can all double check we've got everything completed before leaving?
Yes, David and I are working on that.
Perfect. I had another question that came up from a call I was on the other night. And the question was, what do we need? And this is from Manon. So for the Scouters need, in terms of forms, to be able to bring youth out of the country and into another country. Is that something that we're going to be getting information to them for? I'm asking you, Marie-Claude.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't. Can you repeat that?
So the
I thought you were
question,
talking
the
about
question,
ISTs.
the question
Yep.
was, what will the scouters need, if anything, in terms of paperwork or forms to bring youth out of the country? Or is the contingent doing that as a whole? How is that happening? So when we, like Scouts Canada, when you go to the US, if you're bringing youth, you have to have a piece of paper saying you're allowed to. Is that, at least I think you do.
Oh, you mean for association, pour l'association, or
For both Scouts Canada and l'Association. It originated from l'Association.
l'association? Yeah, OK.
But
L'association, ce qu'on va faire, c'est qu'on va faire un permis de camp unique. Donc, puis on va l'envoyer dans vos districts pour que vos commissaires et vos personnes en charge soient au courant. So what I just said is that for l'association, we're going to create a camp permit, a unique camp permit with everybody's name, everybody's information that will be sent to the what here we call district. So everybody's, well, all the district, like the head commissioner of the districts, are going to receive this unique plan for the jamboree, so they will know who and the dates of the people leaving. That will be done for l'association. Seriously, I don't know if there's something like that asked for Scouts Canada. I can, of course, David and I can work on something, having something bilingual, but I don't know if Scouts Canada wants it and what should be included. Thank you.
So it's Dave Frederick. For those for Scouts Canada, we're talking to Safe Scouting exactly right now in regards to what the duty of care document will look like and what is going to be required on that. Okay.
Marie-Claude, there's a question. Is it all university dorms for the pre-camp, or is it just for the first couple of nights, or is it for all nights?
It's for all nights. I know, right? Air conditioned. Yeah, for all nights.
So a couple of other questions. Do parents need to write and sign a letter to permit youth to go out of the country? And that would be for either.
Usually.
That's the same question that was just asked. So as
Okay.
I said, from Scouts Canada's point of view, we will actually have that duty of care letter through Scouts Canada.
And we do have one too also that is will be sent to the youth to be signed by the parents, to be sent to the commissioner and blah, blah, blah. So it's coming.
Another question is, where can we find your emails? Whose emails are you referring to?
Ours for pre-camp or transport?
I'm not sure. The question was just, where can we find your emails? And I don't know what emails they're looking for.
Yeah, thanks, Ruben, for this comment that it's only for the pre-camp that we're going to sleep on beds. We will. As far as I'm concerned, if it's my email you're looking for, I think you have to send it to the World Jamboree 23 Canadian Contingent, as you usually do if you have any questions. And those emails, and maybe you can write in the subject or the object, I don't know how you say it, pre-camp or transport or just pre-camp, and it's going to be sent to us.
Yeah,
okay?
I review every email. I'm usually within 24 hours and send it on to the right person.
And you're doing an amazing job. Thank you, Laura.
Why, thank you.
I don't know if that answers the question.
The one thing I would ask people to do, and I see an awful lot of people trying to be helpful, and an awful lot of people are giving their opinions as they know it, is please do not do that. Okay, so we as the committee management team will provide you the information, and that'll be the information that's both provided to us by Scouts Canada as well as any legal authority. So anybody else who's providing that information, I thank you very much to the sense that you're trying to be helpful. But at this point in time, we will deal with that and we'll provide you the exact information that Scouts Canada requires for us to ensure that your youth have a very safe and enjoyable trip.
Maëlle, I think you have a question.
Yes, actually, I just want to go back to the question that was asked about the legal letter going out of Canada. And so when a parent leaves the country without the other parent, they are legally, there's a legal paper that is normally needed by either a lawyer or a notary to give permission to go out of the country with a child, whether it's yours or not. And so is the letter coming from Scouts Canada or l'Association des Scouts Canada will have a legal binding to it? Or will we need to go to our lawyers and get a final signature?
If there is a requirement,
I think, did he just drop off?
I don't know.
He
I think
did.
he did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll wait till he comes back for him to finish that thought, I think. Although I suspect, yeah, well, let's wait for him to come back to finish that thought, unless you know the answer, Susie.
No, he was answering that one. So
Yeah, so we'll let him come
sure-
back. But there is somebody has their hand up and have had their hand up for a little while, and that's Maëlle.
Yeah, I'm the one actually asking the question for my
okay.
daughter, because I know from a fact that if an adult leaving, no matter they're scouts or not, leaving the country, you are supposed to get a legal letter from the parents to leave the country without the legal parent, whether it's one or two. And so that's the question we had since the beginning. Is that letter needed?
Maëlle, we will get, if that's required from a Scouts Canada or an association, we will get you that letter. If it is a family situation where maybe their parents are no longer together and there's a requirement in the Family Act that says that a parent must have the approval from the opposite, then that is something that as a family you will need to work on. We will ensure that we provide you the documentation that Scouts Canada and the Association des Scouts de Canada need and require to take your youth outside of the country.
I get
This
it.
isn't the first time we do this. I mean, we went to United States. We have had kids go to Kiersgaard, Finland, Switzerland in the last year. So we're very, if the letter is required, we will ensure that you have that letter.
And if you don't mind, I'm going just to translate a little bit of French here, parce qu'il y en a qui veulent avoir la... OK, c'est qu'il y a des gens qui se demandent, bon, s'il faut avoir une lettre d'autorisation parentale pour quitter le pays, c'est-à-dire que là, c'est nous qui avons la responsabilité de vous autres. Si toutefois c'est le cas, on va vous envoyer la documentation nécessaire pour pouvoir faire signer les deux parents, comme quoi que les parents consentent à laisser leur jeune traverser, aller en avion et aller dans un autre pays. Si c'est obligatoire, c'est sûr qu'on va vous le demander. L'autre chose, c'est que si c'est une situation particulière que vous avez au niveau de la famille, ça serait bien peut-être de regarder, voir que ça a l'air, puis peut-être nous tenir au courant si vous avez besoin de plus d'informations. Est-ce que ça va, Édouard, là-dessus?
Oui, merci beaucoup, c'est clair.
Ah! fait plaisir! Mais, tu sais, Maëlle, I can answer for l'association. Tu sais, Maëlle, la minute qu'on inscrit nos jeunes puis qu'on signe, c'est qu'on accepte que, que notre jeune suive, tu sais, en tant que parent, on donne l'autorisation aux animateurs. Mais la lettre, effectivement, pour traverser le pays, habituellement, nous, on le fait signer par deux parents.
OK, non, je comprends très, très bien. C'est juste que peu importe que ce soit pour une association ou non, on m'a déjà dit dans le passé que ce soit un cas spécial ou pas, ça prenait une lettre notarié ou avocat, peu importe comment on veut l'appeler, pour sortir du pays avec un enfant qui n'est pas le tien. Et donc, la vraie question, c'est est-ce que ça le prend ou ce que vous allez nous fournir est assez pour que le gouvernement laisse partir les enfants? Parce qu'en temps normal, supposons que moi, je pars avec la fille du voisin pour aller en vacances. je devrais avoir une autorisation du parent légale dans ce cas-là. Et c'est ça qu'on
OK.
essaie de savoir.
Bon, écoute,
Merci.
moi, je pense que c'est beau. Fait qu'on va continuer à regarder ça de notre côté. Je pense pas que le côté légal soit vraiment obligatoire, mais on va s'assurer que c'est regardé des deux côtés. Merci de l'avoir soulevé.
So there was another question earlier on. Is the pre-camp the day we arrive at South Korea, or is it wait for everyone to arrive? I think it's the day you arrive because everyone is arriving more or
Yeah,
less at the
everybody's
same time.
going to arrive on July 28th because you're leaving Canada on July 27th. So you'll be arriving on July 28th. We arrive at dinner time, so they will provide dinner for us, and then they will show us our dormitory so we can try and get a little bit of sleeping. And the pre-camp with the activity starts the day afterwards. And of course, the pre-camp is for participants and PULs and youth leaders who are accompanying them. It's not for the ISDs.
Perfect. Any more questions about pre-camp? Righty then. Where am I here? My agenda. I think I might be up next with the contingent Discord. I'm just confirming that I am. So I'm going to start anyways with that. And if it's something else, I'll kind of swing back to it in a minute. So we have chosen, we have chosen Discord as our contingent communications platform. As was mentioned on the patrol unit leaders have been notified about this already. We are not forcing anybody to change right now. If you are using something else in your patrols to communicate, please feel free to do so. This is not meant to take away from what you've already got set up. Discord is though what we're going to be using when we're in South Korea. So I have set it all up. I hope it works well, although I was pointed out an error earlier tonight, so I'm gonna get that fixed up later tonight. When you sign in, you have to go to the rules page and click the blue fleur-de-lis or the purple fleur-de-lis to access the next step. And then please, for parents, youth, patrol unit leaders, please select your Jamboree unit and your patrol number to proceed and get put into the right spot. ISTs, just select IST. CMT, there's nothing for you to select. You just have to tell me. I am very new at Discord, so if somebody finds something wrong, please message me and let me fix it. Do not, let me fix it, please. As I said, I'm new at this, and that's my blurb on Discord. Ruben was going to look around and see if he could find any nifty training videos for us people or older people or people who don't use Discord as much. I was going to say just go ask your kids because they'll probably tell you how to use it.
Probably, yeah. But I will try to find some videos on Discord and we'll post it on our social media and in the next newsletter if it's up there so you guys can go and just start playing around. I really encourage everybody to hop on Discord. The sooner the better and start sending messages to each other to get used to it before we're there.
So, yep, parents can be on Discord too. The way I have currently set it up, I could put Discord invite in the chat, but I'm going to, as I said, I would like to fix what I've broken first before I send that out. So I'm going to withhold from putting it in the chat just because things aren't quite right yet. Now I lost my train of thought. So there are some things that are hidden. So as a patrol unit member, you'll see some. Why don't I just share out my screen? So I'm an admin and see everything. But if you, when you come into the rules, this is where I was talking about. You need to click this, or you won't have access to anything. That includes CMT. Everybody needs to click this before some of the other things will show up, and then. Whatever your role is here, PUL, IST parent, it'll open up certain things. And then for the youth, pick your patrol. Patrol unit leaders need to pick their Jamboree unit. And parents also pick your child's youth's patrol unit, and that will put you in the right thing over here. So what we're going to be using announcements will be where we push information out both before we go and while we're there. I will not post anything on Discord that I do not send out in some other mechanism. Most likely email for me. The same would be true for Laura. This will not be the only type of communication we're doing right now. Thought of the day is from when we're there. CMT is private CMT stuff. Most people won't see this one. The medical channels are almost all hidden from the start. We don't want people to use them now, but when we get there, we'll unhide them for people to use. The idea would be if you have an issue or you need to talk to the doctors, post it in here. The medical team will be able to look at it and see it and contact you and go forward with that. And then I have a bunch of chats. So there's English, Français. ISTs have their own chat. Patrol unit leaders have their own chat. Food house people have their own. And then there's some youth parents, and then some others that, depending on your role, will see or not see. Maria, you have a question. No? I saw Maria's hand up.
Yeah,
right.
and I was muted. I am so sorry. Question in the chat. What should carer say they are? Because your options are PUL, ISC, or parent.
Sorry, what should who say?
A carer?
Oh, a carer should pick a parent. And then they're same. We'll discuss the care. So the patrol unit leaders and the carers maybe should get in touch with me, because parents have very little right access anywhere by design. They at this point only have access to the parents' chat, and they can see the chat that's going on in their groups. But I'm not sure yet whether you're going to be allowed to chat in the patrol channels, because I really want the patrol channels to be for the youth and the scouters. They may have access to the all members channel yet. I haven't, kind of a work in progress with the Discord. So we'll talk about that offline, myself with some other members of the ELT, and decide whether we want parents to have access to be able to chat in channels. Does that answer the question? Whomever should have. For media, they haven't asked me what they wanted yet, but I know Ruben was hoping when we're there, people will be able to upload things for that team. And so some of these other channels, you'll see things as we decide how they're going to be used, what they're going to be used for. The food house is for the food house folks. And then Korea, this is an open channel. So far, this is where I've been stealing stuff from one of the other Discords for the Jamboree from this group here for the ISTs. And then the apps, I'm going to steal some more things from that other channel, because he had some really good apps posted of Korean translations and things like that. So far, this one I've made read only. This one is here. I'm right now, I'm going to say this, I'm probably really the only one who's really, really monitoring this a lot. If you have a really burning question, make sure you email it as well. The whole CMT is getting used to this Discord thing as well. So email is still your best way to probably get a hold of us. And I see Caden has a question.
Hi, yeah, it's a bit off topic. I think I missed this. Where can we actually find your emails? Like if we want to contact you?
Mine, everybody should have by now. I've sent out a million things to everybody, I feel, but we can post. Whose emails are you looking for in particular?
Oh yeah, I guess actually yours. Never mind. Sorry. Thanks.
Oh no, I'll put mine out. That's okay. I'll just put it in the chat for everyone who doesn't know it. But if there's anyone else's emails, just ask them, and if they're needed, we will post them in the chat as well. The other one to use is the common info one, which is, Laura, do you want to put that into the chat?
Will do.
So there's a question, some youth have disabilities and need assistance with the chat. I'm not sure what that would be. If you want to talk to us offline, I'm not sure how we'll address it until we know specifically what the issues are. And then, as I said, the last part is and this is where I messed up. When you select your Jamboree unit, you'll be put into the proper Jamboree unit and patrol unit and only see that group. So the Jamboree 1 members will not see Jamboree Unit 2 stuff. And I saw Manon had a question earlier. Can these be renamed to be the patrol unit names that they've chosen? I don't have a problem with that. I think everybody, I don't think anyone else on the ELT will have issues if I change them all to be your patrol names. So that'll be good because we'll get to know what you're called. So I will, if you post it to me somewhere, I'll get to it eventually. I have to work out security first, and then I'll get to it as soon as I can.
That would be my preference eventually, is that you use your patrol names versus numbers. Nobody likes being a number. We'd like much more to call you who you want to be.
Oh, and also, yeah, that brings up a good point. When you sign up, can you please try and make your name something recognizable? And I stole this from Adam as well. It'll be really awkward in real life or when we get to the Jamboree if I only know you as Aragoth or Argaroth. So that's what you'll get called by us. So we prefer to use something that describes who you are and maybe what patrol or other role. You'll see that I've changed mine, Maria's changed hers, and a few others have started to change theirs as well. That would be beneficial for all of us, I think, in Discord. You can do it per server, so you need help doing with that, let us know, or as I said, ask any youth in your household for help.
So being the one that was stolen from on this, hey, I have no problem with that. One of our unit members was really forward thinking and said, hey, when you change your name, put your pronouns in there too. Helps everybody.
Good. Yeah, sorry, I saw that as well, and I didn't post that anywhere, but yes, that's a good call out as well. I saw some nodding of heads on the videos as well. So I haven't released the server name yet, just because, as I said, I'm trying to work out some. Yep, I know how to change the Discord names and stuff. It's not. I'm just working out some permission issues. I made all the patrols wrong too. So I'm not going to. I need to fix this before I send it all out. Your son's care will be in the patrol Discord group. I just don't know yet whether carers are going to. We haven't decided what rights carers are going to have either. We'll have to. It'll be a decision that I need to work out with Susie and David, Remy. And that's all I have on Discord. If there's any, well, don't want to leave the meeting. That would be a fun mistake to make. So yeah, I'm not going to put a role for pronouns. I think just you can change your own in your chat. And then Ruben, let me know what you want under your own groups. And so that's all I have. I think next would be the Q&A section of life, if I remember the. Oh no, DIBC. So this is really for the Ontario Scouters and ISTs. I attended a Dorchester meeting last Sunday, and have said that we are going to go, or they invited us to come. There's been a few people asking about, because the IBC is normally a scout camp, and we're adventurers. And last time we were there, so I'm going to presume it's this time as well, but I will get that confirmed. I'm going to ask David Franklin, because are you part of that committee, or are you just in the know more than I am?
Well, Camp Bell is only like 20 minutes from where I live. And since I've become a part of Tri-Shores, I've attended the camp and have been there twice when Central Canada has had a pre-camp for WJ in conjunction with the program at DIBC. I know all the players there. I've actually been invited to be on the program team there, but my priority, and I've explained that to the camp manager. That's the word we're using right now. The camp manager, or the camp official team. That my priority is with the World Jamboree team. Should there be a pre-camp going on there? Typically, we participate in the program that's going on, the camp, the Friday night, and the Saturday morning, and then Saturday afternoon we break off and do some sessions of getting to know the different units back and forth, getting to understand what things to pack, questions to answer. It's more of a bonding opportunity than real for those that aren't participating. It's not that you're gonna, well, I mean, you miss out on the opportunity to interact with each other prior to going, but it's a pretty loose agenda. It's just an opportunity for getting together.
Yeah, and so I don't know if he's on the call, but Larry Fleet had volunteered to be my liaison with them.
Okay.
So I just we should. So there is some tight timelines for that. I need to find out send it to all the PULs. I'll send it all to the ISTs tonight. Applications need to be in by April 1st, and all forms and payments by April 30th. As last time, register directly with DIBC, and we'll figure out how we get all the WJ groups hooked up at some point. So I've asked Larry to look into that for us as well. But I'll get him to confirm the age range. I can't imagine that they would say no, given that we've done it in the past. For those who want, so Leonardo, are you a youth or a IST or other adult? For a parent, so the patrol unit leaders were sent all the information last night about DIBC, or the other night, and they should be distributing it to you. I put in my email to them, if you are in Ontario or an Ontario youth, but your patrol is located elsewhere, please let us know as well, and we'll find patrols to put you with. And likewise, if you're a patrol from Ontario and would like a couple extra youths here and there, please let me know so that we can make this all work together. I know there's a bunch of people in that situation. And that's all I have on that. So I think we're now into the regular question section. Any questions we haven't answered yet?
There's one question there for those wanting to participate in DIBC. When and how instructions will be sent out? I guess we can find out, and then we'll send out.
Oh yeah, that's what I just said. So are they for PULs, they were given all the information.
Oh.
Yeah, and that's where the whole, like, I know your daughter is not with her. I don't know if her patrol's in, but anyways, we'll figure it all out about youths and people and ISTs as well. Register as an IST for there if you want, and we can attend, and we'll find things, some sort of sessions. As David said, we did meet and greets and things like that last time. David F, you have any comment there?
You caught me not paying attention.
No, I'm talking with the other David. Sorry, David Frederick.
Oh, the other David.
I thought I saw his.
So that I'm safe. There's another David.
You're safe. You're safe. You're safe. I'd have probably gone with Chef David, but I saw David's bubble turn on as if he had started to say something.
No, no comments.
I don't have that answer for you, Jennifer. I don't know how I said we're still working out the details with them. I just attended the meeting last week and said, hey, we wanna be there. So I said, we'll figure that out soon. What's the best way for parents to communicate with youth during the Jamboree? So Discord, I would probably say, that's a good question. If it's open for everybody, I would use Discord. And I guess maybe we will then open it up, figure out a way to open it up for parents. Maybe we'll have you can do direct messaging through Discord as well.
Yeah, I was going to say you could probably direct message to your youth on Discord.
Yeah, then you won't be incurring any text or long distance or anything like that. So there is definitely when you click on a person, I don't know if everyone sees it. Everyone must see this. There's a way I can message a person directly. So you right click someone's name, you can message them directly.
Just keep in mind it's 13 hours difference.
Yes, I would highly suggest that you turn off notifications. For those of us, well, either way, you might want to turn off notifications on Discord. Lots of bells otherwise. You can call directly. I have voice channels turned on. I'm not sure if we're going to turn them off. It's another thing I haven't really thought about yet. 13 hours ahead or behind, Ruben? Which way?
I believe it's ahead.
So they're 13 hours ahead. So there's yeah.
Yeah, it's ahead.
So if we're there calling back, it's 13 hours ago. And the other way around, it's 13 hours in the future.
Yeah.
Laura, you have your hand up.
Yes, I do. I would like to make an appeal to everybody who sends me lovely emails. Could you please at least give me the full name of your participant, your child? If you tell me it's Joe, we have 14 Joes, and I have to try and then match it up with the email that I got from the parent. And I would be eternally grateful if you would give me your registration number. We've sent your registration number out a number of times. It really, really helps me when I'm going through 50 and 60 emails a day. Okay, thank you.
Perfect. Any other questions?
I think there's a number in the chat there, yeah.
Is there a number in the chat?
Well,
is everyone invited to
there,
DIBC?
yeah.
So everybody is invited, but it's a camp that is in southwestern Ontario. Make sure I get it right. It's Camp Bell, and it's David. Whereabouts is it located? What's the closest big town?
London.
London.
Thank you. I don't know. I just drive. I go there. I don't pay attention to where I am. I don't go all the way to London.
In between Woodstock and London. If you hit London and you're coming from the east, you've gone too far.
But I would say yes. It's called the Dorchester International Brotherhood Camporee or Camp.
Yeah.
And there are both scouts from Canada and the US, I believe, that attended. That's the Brotherhood part of it. If I am correct.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, and we quite often attract guests from other countries as well. We usually have a couple of special guests that amazingly find their way to Dorchester.
And it takes place on Mother's Day weekend, just so everybody knows.
Yeah.
Has for the last 29 years or 30 years, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Adam has his hand up.
Yeah, I've got a mic. I'll just ask. Do we have an idea as to where we are going for pre-jam stuff yet? Of course, I've seen the general itinerary that's been shared, but looking for more.
I don't want to still.
I answered your question on the Discord.
Oh, okay. Oh, on Discord. Okay, I'll take a look.
Yeah,
there.
because the question was there at first. It's 2 days in Seoul and 2 days in Jeonju. We have a meeting with the pre-camp team over there at the end of March. We'll be receiving, hopefully, the precise itinerary with the hours and the activities. So it's coming. And they're supposed to provide it by the end of March. Donc, pour ceux et celles qui veulent la traduction, nous avons une rencontre avec l'équipe du pré-camp à la fin mars. Ils devraient être en mesure de nous remettre l'horaire précise du pré-camp. Mais tout commence à Séoul et se termine à Jeonju. Good for you?
Good for me. Jen posted a link for DIBC, so that's awesome. Any other questions? Last 6 minutes before I ask everyone else to leave and only have the IST stay on. Well, if there's no other questions, thank you very much for joining us back this week after last week's craziness. And then I'm going to put Ruben on the spot because everyone always asks me how long before this video gets posted somewhere.
I'm going to put Frank on the spot. It'll be this week. We're hoping by Friday it'll be up.
All right, thank you. And it'll
as soon as I've got the video.
It'll be posted to the YouTube channel, which when he posts stuff into the here, it's automatically going to show up in the links channel.
Yeah.
I see he posted something about the Harlem Jamborette, so I'll be posting other links as I find them. And perfect. Thank you.
And you have a last question in the chat.
Are tours in temples? Wait, are there tours? I think it's probably a two-part. Are there any tours in temples? And if so, pants or shorts?
No, her question is, do you have to wear pants or shorts in the temples for the tours?
Oh.
I do believe that's how she's asking it.
Okay.
Go ahead, Dave Frederick. I think you were going to say something.
The Korean culture doesn't matter if you're wearing shorts or pants. If you're entering the temples, we entered quite a few temples wearing our shorts at the pre-camp or at the head of contingents meetings. It is the respect you give in the temple, obviously. So no horseplay, no running around. It is a religious space, so that's just
David,
understood.
All right. So the next meeting will be the third Sunday of April. I will send out a reminder in that week before. The Discord server is open to everybody in this meeting. So CMT, IST, youth, and parents. So everybody who's and guardians, of course, and carers. Susie, hand is up.
So just to clarify, is this one then?
Oh, sorry.
Is this our March meeting?
No, I saw that. No, sorry, you were right. I missed.
Okay.
Next one is third Sunday of March. Someone caught me on it. Thank you.
Perfect.
Yes, third. We're back to the regular schedule after the third Sunday in March, which is probably reading week for some people, but such is life. If you can't be on it, we'll be recording as usual.
And George, the ISTs are expected to stay on the conversation after this meeting is over?
Correct. It's only a little bit extra blurb about tenting and things like that. Mostly just tenting.
There are still some comments about the cleavage and shoulders and clothes. Don't worry. When we're going to have all the information about the pre-camp activities, we're going to make sure that inside the schedule, you'll be aware of all the restrictions or anything you should look out for. Don't worry, we'll keep you posted.
And when we were there last summer, none of that was an issue at all. There were people there with their shoulders shown and with not wearing t-shirts. So there was some cleavage and it was not an issue. They want people to be respectful in their areas. in the way of not being rowdy and being there, but they don't, as you said, they don't refuse it, but they also don't, they actually didn't frown upon it. It wasn't really seen as that bad. So just so everybody knows, it's actually yes, they would obviously like you to be in that in their how do I put that in a different way? Anyways, it wasn't an issue last summer, and we did have people going through with us that there was the cleavage and shoulders shown. So it's we don't want to anybody to be too worried about that side at the moment.
And before everybody leaves, just because I know some of the people went on a hike and sent me pictures. So if you guys are doing stuff ahead of time, yes, thank you, Cadence. For if your patrol or jamboree unit or whatever are doing anything ahead of time before the jamboree, please let myself and Ruben know if you have photos. We can put them in our newsletters, things like that. We have permission. There's a Facebook group I know that I'm part of. It's called the Road to WJ23. People post their pictures all the time there. I think it'd be really awesome if we started posting things as well that we could do. So again, if you're doing anything cool, anything as a unit, let us know. We want to advertise the heck out of this.
Yeah, we want to share with everybody.
Didn't mean to put you on the spot.
And videos too. If you guys do videos, photos, whatever you guys have, share it, please.